Hello, this is TechMan88, and this is just going to be a quick video on making a wither cage in the nether. The eventual result of this would be to get a block breaking system on the nether ceiling that you could use like this, and I'll go over this a little bit later. I think a lot has changed in 1.13 regarding this topic. One that I think is true is that the bedrock formations are not consistent across different seeds. Like it used to be that when you, no matter what your seed was, the bedrock formations would always be the same. And I'm using a command just to remove all the netherrack, just error replace netherrack from 110 to 127. And what I can do is just go around and just keep running this command. And that'll just expose the netherrack very quickly. You probably don't want to do this all in survival because you'll be digging like crazy, whereas this, just load up your seed in a creative world and you can just run the command. And you want to test this out in creative before you actually try it in the real world because withers are quite expensive to summon. Down in the nether, I set up a fence post, and this is at level 123. And then I have a sticky piston or a normal piston below it. And then I have an area here where I can summon the wither. You need to be careful about blocks like back here in this area. They seem to interfere with the check for spawning the wither, whether the block pattern is correct. So now I will place the skulls on it, and that summons the wither. And before you do that, you want to come up on top of the ceiling and you want to put an obsidian block up here. And I'm pretty sure you want obsidian because there's a huge explosion that happens and it can break basically any block, but the obsidian seems to handle it. And at this point you'll see the withers taking damage. So that's because it's too low. So what this fence post does, like you see that the withers, it's half a block higher than this fence post, because this fence post actually, the bounding box comes up a little bit higher than it looks. So what I do is I just push it up. I should have left it up. So this fence post, like it appears to be just in this block, but it still has this bounding box above it that's holding the wither up. So just kind of a strange thing you can do with game mechanics. And now once you have that set up, you've already basically got a basic wither cage up here, a working wither cage. So now if I send some blocks in, it's going to damage the wither, and it's going to break this 3x3 area. Another useful command, just if you're working with withers, and you've got multiple withers, it's this this command here, basically kill all withers within 5 blocks, so this distance equals 0.5. And that will just kill the closest one. Now what I've set up over here is a mock-up of a tree farm and how you would want to input the wood to this system so that you can actually collect it. And the way this works is it uses the whole thing with item entities when there's when they don't have any space, when the blocks are completely filled. They'll rise up and they'll have a little bit of momentum, and then they can slide across this packed ice and be picked up by these hopper minecarts. And the hopper minecarts, I'm not totally sure they're necessary, but they seem to have a bit bigger radius so that there's less of a chance of items getting stuck up here. You could almost see it just a second ago that an item almost didn't quite get enough momentum to get into this next block, but that hopper minecart seems to have a bigger radius. And I didn't quite get it there. So if I remove the glass up here, then I guess I can also remove those hopper minecarts. Didn't quite do that right. But yeah, the items just don't quite have enough momentum there. Now if I put the packed ice back down, collect all those items again, I think these need replacement again. So it does seem to be working, but as I've observed, like you're better off with the hopper minecarts. You might as well just do those. Now actually producing this kind of input to the farm, this 3-wide thing that's going to occupy all the spaces, this is going to be a bigger challenge. I'm working on a design that can set up the logs like this and also push them in fast enough such that it fills up this entire area and gives the items time to rise up and get pushed over the ice. But I might post a future video if I do figure that out. Another just note about this is that it is important that you push in the wood fairly fast. One thing, if you don't know, is when you damage the wither, it's going to do the block breaking thing like 10 game ticks later. I don't know the exact value. But like if you send it in pretty fast, it'll give the items a chance to rise up and flow across the ice. But if you slow down a little bit, like this timing still seems to work. It's a little bit finicky, like sometimes even sending it slower may still work. But yeah, like this rate would be way too slow. And probably about the fastest rate you could do it is this rate. It's on a fast clock. So a shout out to Raiseworks for keeping up on this wither stuff. He's done a ton of research. I would definitely look at his channel if you're interested in this kind of mechanic with the withers. And also a shout out to Ilmango for doing this with TNT. He's done a whole lot of work on the TNT blast chamber stuff. And the design that I know of blows up about 200 blocks per TNT. And that's a pretty good value. And just a challenge for some of these expert tree farm guys, I think this is kind of a new challenge when you're trying to operate without breaking any of the bedrock on the nether ceiling. And you have to get them in this arrangement. But anyway, thank you for watching and goodbye.